this one is mealy, and the difference is like in the mealy machine. So you have the transition from one state to another state, and it has the input and also the output on the transition. Right? So when you transfer from one state to another state, you represent the input and output on the transition line. So, and then if you take the Moore machine, so I will open another one. So here, this is the same thing. So this is the same coffee machine, but now we are using different machine, and this is called Moore. And what's the difference?
There is no output already on
Yeah,
the transition.
yeah. So the outputs in this case are not in the or at the transition, but we have the output for each state, right? So you say like when you are transferring from here to here, then it is only possible with input one, but there is no output in this case. So that's why we have the epsilon. And in this case, like you have input two and output make coffee, but not on the transition, but you put it at the state, right? So that is the only difference. So here, like it's the same flow, like 1 plus 2, you make coffee, and here 1 plus 2, you make coffee, right? So yeah, it's I think there is not much difference in this model, so you can use whatever is like pleasing for you, right? So but I will show you later how to convert these models to Prolog in the end. So in that regard, it's different because how we when we are converting these models to let's say software programs, then it's different. There is a difference how we can represent this data, right? So here this output is a property of the transition, but in this case, output is a property of the state, right? So it depends how you represent it in the end when you are implementing the solution. But in this modeling scenario, like it's more or less a choice about the preference, right? So I think there is nothing significant about any other benefit which one to choose over the other, right? So I will show you how we can make this one from the scratch. So let's say I will open new one, and then I will choose here the newer machine. Close this. So I want to look at this one and then build the other version for this, right? So then we will take state, and now you see like as soon as you click, it creates the state, and it's asking for the output. But here you don't have output, right? So in the beginning, so you will not press input anything, then press OK, then you get this epsilon, right? So this epsilon is just a symbol to denote that there is nothing. Right?
Is this the same as I get?
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's something in the tool, like
Okay.
you can choose to use this one or
Okay.
this one. So, but
Okay.
and yeah, it's about just choosing one over this, but both represents null or empty, right? Yeah. And now I want to create another state, say this one. So now still it's no output, and then I can make this transition from this one to this one, and it should be one. Yeah. And I want to make this this starting state, so I can right click and then make this as initial state, so same as earlier, and then I will create another state, but this time this should make copy, and then I can write here the output, and then press enter, and now I will make this transition, and here I will put 2. So our coffee machine, if you remember, it produces coffee when you have three crowns, right? And then we have another state like maybe this one, so we can create this, and still no output, so I will make this transition 2, and there is another way how to reach this point, like this, and then we have also this state 2 plus 1, like this, and the last one. So when you enter more than required, so it's also now in this case it should return 1. Okay, so I think it's quite straightforward. So I will give you maybe 5 minutes to create this, and then we can try to run it and see, right? So any questions?
Yes, question. What informs the different states that we are?
Sorry.
What informs the different states that we are choosing in this?
What informs?
Yeah, I mean, we have make coffee, we have return money.
Yeah, it depends on what we want to model, right? So we have like fictitious coffee machine, like which should give you coffee if you input, let's say, three crowns, right? And you can choose any combination, 1 plus 1 or 1 plus 2 or 2 plus 1. So all these fulfills this scenario, right? And then if you input more than this, then it should return money. So it's a very simple coffee machine, and it's our requirement, right? So it's not some theory or something, but just what we want as the example, right? Is it clear? So based on that, we choose the state. So in our case, we say each step is any insert of coin, right? So all transitions we have here, it's a transition triggered by inserting the coin. So it can be 1 crown or 2 crown. So in our case, it's only 2 type of coins, 1 or 2, right? But if it is another example, let's say it's not a coffee machine, but a different case, then each transition can be even different, right? So in the first case, you enter, like, let's say, let's take an example of ATM machine, right? And you want to get money. So what can be the states? So if you think in this way, in the way of state machines, so because these state machines is just modeling tool, right? So how you could approach to solve some problem, a real world problem. So our real world problem here is to program for the coffee machine. And now, if I say our problem is to create a model or solve the problem of ATM machine, then we need to think of in that way, and then I will think of any solution, sorry, tools that I can use, and I think, okay, so this finite state machine is a good modeling tool that I can use to solve this problem or to design the solution, right? So in that case, I can create states in a different way, right? So let's say for the ATM, so what can be the states for ATM?
You use your card.
Yeah.
The card.
Yeah, so let's say I am now in front of the machine, right? So let's say this is the starting point. What can you do?
So you present your card and then your PIN
Yeah,
and you get money.
yeah. So is there any other scenarios? Like, is it the only one, or yeah? So we can gradually, yeah. So we say insert card, right?
Yeah.
Insert card, and then you go to this state, right? So after that,
Interpin.
Insert pin.
PIN.
Interpin.
Yeah.
so now I will say insert pin. Okay. So I will go to this state.
Is it amount?
So choose amount. So you are going to withdraw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there will be another state after insert pin, like wrong pin, cancel.
Authentication.
And also at this first stage, now since there's the contact list, you can also put tap card. So insert or tap card.
Yeah, so you can say maybe another one.
Exactly. Choose amount.
And then you
Then you
get your
verify.
wait.
Oh yeah, then you get
your
the card back.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
First you get the card back if you have inserted the card.
No, you get the cash before you get the card. No?
I can't remember when last I used a card.
So you get the cash and then you get your card.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
However,
it's some kind of yeah. I will
there
tell
are
you this
situations
story.
where the card, the machine does not have cash to dispense, so you don't get cash.
Oh yeah,
Just
you
get
know,
your card back.
in Africa.
Girl.
But there's another stage. You first confirm the amount, I think. Before,
Yeah,
after
but-
you choose, you
But
confirm
yeah, you
it.
choose amount, and you are only thinking about getting money, right?
Ah, yes, there's
Yeah.
others. You can select, choose a balance
currency.
check,
Oh,
or you can do currency check, or
Right.
yeah. So there's like several different
Yeah,
options,
options,
or
yeah.
statement, the mini statement.
Yeah. So
it's
so
big
maybe
bang.
here before choosing the amount,
You choose
maybe-
the option.
The option.
yeah. So
Yeah.
you choose
Exactly.
An option.
Option, exactly.
But now it's a problem, right? So based on which option you choose,
It will
you
lead
will go
you
to
somewhere.
maybe a different state.
Exactly.
So maybe I will say choose option to withdraw.
Oh yes. And then
Yeah,
to
then
deposit
here,
or to
and
deposit.
yeah, if you let's say check balance. maybe.
Yes, check balance and then deposit.
Yeah, maybe this one. So yeah, I will
There's so
not
many options.
yeah
Oh,
do
no,
everything,
no.
but now after this maybe you will
Then
choose
Enter
the
the
amount,
Exactly.
and then take money,
Get the
or
card.
maybe
Exactly.
if you think of machine's perspective, then we will not say you take money, but machine provides money. And then here, in this case, yeah, when you choose to display the balance, yeah, then you can say the output is displaying the balance, right?
Okay.
Or like when you say option to withdraw, and then you
The output
choose,
would be getting the cash.
yeah, and then maybe this one insert pin. So you can say, yeah, maybe before this state, maybe there is another state. Like if you think of the perspective from the machine, because now you are thinking like the machine, right? So because you want to program the machine, then maybe here
Yeah,
there
you
is
can.
another step to validate the pin, right?
Or
So
maybe
the
change the
person inserts the
language.
pin and the machine validates it. And if the validation is successful, you display the next step
Options.
to option. But maybe if the pin is wrong, then maybe you reject
Reject.
any
Yeah.
activity, and then maybe release the card back. Right?
And if you're in South Africa, you cry because the card is gone.
Gone.
Yeah. Yeah, so now you see like how complicated it is, and it's really good idea that you ask about it. So that's why this modeling is important, right? Yeah. Otherwise, if you write down everything, how hard or easy it is, or what other approaches you have to like even approach some model like this. So now we are following the state machines, right? But maybe when you will learn later some other flowcharts, right? So maybe you have already used flowcharts.
Yes.
So this is good tool also, right? So to use a flowchart to see, yeah. So you start from this state and then you do this and branch in and merge in like everything, all the possible scenarios. This is one approach. And in software, yeah, you can use finite state machines, but later you will learn UML, like Unified
Yeah.
Modeling Language, and then you
We're
have
learning it now.
yeah
So
activity diagrams, state chart diagrams, so many. Like even you can use different diagrams for the same to represent different things, right? So the state for the state machine and activity for the behaviors and so on. So yeah, this is why this modeling is important, because if you want to program for the machine, like you cannot just go to the computer and start programming or even do it, because now you see that it's not even simple, right? Even for this straightforward machine that we use every day, or like all of us are familiar about it, but still it's complicated than you think, right? And then think about some business application, right? Some finance system or some manufacturing application or something. Then there is so many cases that you will have, right?
So um what if I miss a step
Mhm.
um in the chart in the model? When I run it, does it throw an error?
It depends. Yeah, it depends. Sometimes, yeah, you will get an error, but sometimes there can be some modeling errors which will not give you an error, but all your calculations might be wrong, and then you will realize it maybe through some audit or some testing, like yeah. So, but in software engineering, it's important to do this analysis properly in the beginning to avoid that you prolong fixing or identifying these issues in a later level, right? So if you find an error in the modeling, that's much better than you finding this bug after you implement this machine or ATM machine. Let's say you have a bug in your flow somewhere, and then you have this installed in, let's say, 50 ATM machines in Prague, and then you find this bug. Then how costly it is to fix it, right? So you have already implemented, so maybe you need to go to every place and then fix it. So it's difficult. But if you find some error in this phase, the modeling phase, it's much better. That's why it's really good practice to do this modeling, and then you can use these diagrams to discuss it for as a basis for the discussions, as a basis to present it to the customer or maybe to other stakeholders. So maybe some banking governing body or government or finance ministry or some other financial security organizations or any such thing, right? So, and you can also do some improvements to some practices. So, for an example, I think in the beginning, these ATM machines uh, like returned the card, I think, after the money, right?
And now it's before.
I think now it's before. Because, why is it?
I think the same issue we were saying, the card can get stolen maybe that's why.
Yeah, I
People
think,
maybe forget to take their card.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
Sometimes
when,
people make
when
their
people
card,
see
yeah.
money,
They're happy.
they're happy, so they forget the card. So it's a very basic improvement which can resolve this issue. So it's not even a technical solution, right? It's about the flow of the activities, right? So yeah, so yeah, I think it's clear now, right? So why we do this modeling, right? So this finite state machines, maybe you won't use it that much, but maybe later you will just use UML because it's much more easier and more common. But this it's the same idea why we use this abstraction and models to support our software development or supporting or designing and everything, right? Okay, so this is same. So shall I run it? Yeah. So it's same like earlier. So you have these options that you can run it step by step. So you can do maybe 111. So and then it should give me 40, right? So you are in this state. Q3 and now yeah. So it made copy. And also these options fast run, multiple runs. So you have, I think I already mentioned last time why it's also important to have here multiple tests, right? So you can guarantee that if you are changing something in your model, so if you have, let's say here, maybe 10 test cases, so you can run all the test cases and ensure that you are not breaking already running or like already working scenario, right? So here you can put 111, 1, 2, so 1, 2, 1, 2. So now I can run all inputs and you can see like yeah, and it's also important to test all the flows, right? Including like if you let's say if you have some validation here, so you should definitely check for bad inputs as well, right? So not only the correct inputs but also bad inputs and what will happen if you uh, input something wrong and how your program or how your model behaves when you, for an example, input totally wrong values, right? Okay, so shall I give you maybe a few more minutes so you can try and like just to get familiar with the tool. So if you have some problems about this activities, so you can resolve it now.
My thing has some error or something. So I think I have to maybe restart it.
Yeah, but
It's telling me that I can't do anything. It's giving me this.
yeah, so maybe can you close it now? And what happens? Crash or
I think so. Yeah, even to close it's not. Maybe I can. I don't know what is it. It's not responding.
yeah, try again.
Okay, I'll
Maybe
try
there
again.
can be some